Hello guys, this is Sapphire with a review of Reign season finale. It's episode 22 titled Slaughter of Innocence. Due to Henry's increasing madness, Francis, Mary, and Catherine plot a coup. Christian advises Mary to lay claim to England in order to inspire the French to rally around her. At the joust celebrating the victory at Calais, Mary wears the English coat of arms. Henry is jealous of the response Mary gets and decides to participate in the joust himself. Francis secretly switches with the jouster and mortally wounds Henry. On Henry's deathbed, his sanity returns. He makes Catherine promise to befriend Diane and confesses to Francis that he poisoned his elder brother to become king. Warning Francis not to betray those he loved, Henry dies and Francis is proclaimed king. Leah returns with rewards, but Greer, though she still loves him, refuses to marry him, saying it's not enough. Heartbroken, Leah declares he will become more successful, but will never return to her. Leah shows interest in a lady named Yvette, not knowing she is Casseroy's daughter. In turn, she is attracted to him. Bash saves Kenna and Pascal from the darkness, revealing it to be a man. The darkness claims that the blood sacrifices are necessary to appease the gods and to keep the plague at bay. But Bash kills him. Mary receives a letter from Lola that she is in labor and possibly dying. Mary tells Francis he is the father of Lola's child, just as news arrives that the plague has arrived as the darkness predicted. Mary tries to convince Francis to stay, but he insists on going to Lola, and Mary closes the gate behind him when he leaves. So, this season finale had a lot of stuff. So we have the situation from the episode before this one was King Henry deciding that he's going to kill his son Francis and marry his wife, Mary Queen of Scots. When they get to the the jousting thing, it's supposed to be, a celebration of their victory at Calais, right? So on the ship, instead of him having fireworks, he has all the survivors of the victory of Calais on these two ships, right? And he has them literally shooting cannonballs at each other. Until one of them you're shooting cannonballs at, you got two ships shooting cannonballs at each other. So one ship destroys the other, to the surprise and shock of Queen Catherine, Mary, and of course everybody else that's there watching. And Henry gets upset, said they're not really supposed to shoot each other. I'm like, dude, you put the survivors of this battle on this freaking they're literally shooting cannonballs at each other. You couldn't just do fireworks like a normal king, like, Jesus. And not only that, when Mary, she's wearing the English coat of arms, the English people that they did have, they left like in disgust to went and go tell Queen Elizabeth, who is the daughter of Henry VIII by his second wife. And not only that, when Mary was there, instead of his wife, which is Queen Catherine, sitting on his, I think his right side, he had Catherine sit on the left, and he had Mary sit on the right side. And then he put a blanket on Mary so he could try to fill her beneath the blanket. I'm like, really, dude? Even Catherine saw, like, oh my God, Henry is on to something else. Like, what is going on? Like, oh my God, right? So you got him sleeping into sanity, and so then we find out that it was actually Francis who ended up killing his father during the jousting incident. And then we see Francis feeling all bad when his father confesses that never betray your family, because the way he became king was he killed his older brother. So that's who he was seeing this whole time while we saw him slip into sanity. He was seeing the ghost of his brother that he killed, and he's still in that outfit he was wearing when I think it was during tennis. So King Henry is gone, so he won't be back season 2, which makes Francis the King of France and Mary the Queen of Scotland and France. Now, as for I don't know what it's gonna do with Bash, how this gonna work with Bash, because he is a bastard child, but he also is like the Lord of the Hunt, some crappy title his father gave him. And we haven't seen Diane since she left, so I don't know if Catherine is gonna befriend Diane. I mean, after all, she is the mistress. And as for the situation with Lilith and Greer, obviously, what Notre Dame had predicted was they was going to get together. It may be they probably will get together when probably like she's gonna be like with Casseroy. He probably gonna die or something, and then she probably gonna get with Liv. That's kind of how I figure it's gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, Liv is gonna go off and get more wealth and stuff, and Greg's gonna be getting married to Casseroy, and he's probably gonna die like an accident or something, and then that's how she probably gets with Liv. That's how I'm figuring it's gonna happen. We didn't have the situation with Bash saving Kenna and Pascal from the darkness. You really see Kenna's motherly instincts in this one. And when they go to kill him, Bash notices, I think they go to his, the man's hideout to where he was having, and they notice like he had pictures on the wall for like paintings. Apparently the man had a gift like Nostradamus, but he was seeing into this future. So he was pretty much predicting this plague which is about to come. So they showing the wall, they were showing stuff that has already happened throughout the series. And like the last one was the it was supposed to be stuff falling. The sky is falling. Back then that's what they call it. I'm pretty sure they know it was a meteor shower, but it's supposed to be sky is falling. So they had a meteor shower, which will be the final event before the plague was going to hit. All right. So obviously the plague is coming because the man didn't do his last blood sacrifice to appease the gods. And then poor Lola, she's on her way back to the castle when she goes into labor. And she ends up stopping by this woman's house, and the woman's gonna have to help her deliver a baby now. The woman doesn't know how to deliver a baby, and Lola might die from this process because when you're delivering a baby, the area doesn't the reason I can see her probably dying is because one, the place doesn't look very sanitary. I mean, that's probably a majority of the reason why women actually did die during child labor. I mean, you're talking about the facility they were in wasn't very hygienic. I mean, you're talking about all these fluids coming out of you, and if they have to, in case the baby is breached, they might have to do an emergency C-section. And if that's the case, those tools don't look clean either. So you're talking about all this modes of transfer. Ways she could get infected during trying to birth this baby is ridiculous. And so Mary finally tells Francis, "Yo, Lola is having your baby," and she rushes him to go be by her side, but then she gets to Catherine, who says, Catherine is doing a lockdown in the castle. Nobody's to go in, nobody's to come out, nobody's to go come in, nobody's to go out. And Mary's like, "Oh no, Francis is leaving." And she's like, Catherine's like, "Hurry up and stop him." So Francis, when she get there, Francis is already a host, and she's like, "Francis, don't go. There's a plague." And then then Francis brings back up the conversation they just had earlier about their hearts becoming cold. They're no longer being sympathetic, empathetic and all that stuff. And he tells Mary, "Don't let your heart grow cold, because you just sat here. 5 minutes before you just sat here and told me to rush to go be by Lola's side because she's by herself. She has nobody there. You told me to rush by her side and go see the safety of my child. And now you telling me because of the plague coming that you want me to stay. You want me to stay with you." You sort of Mary. We sort of see her transformation since she had to try to get that gold from Catherine. We sort of see her becoming more and more, losing more. I guess we say more and more of her innocence and becoming more of the more of a cunning queen, sort of like Catherine. And so the show ends off with Francis going to see Lola and the birth of his unborn child. I don't think we know if it's a boy or a girl yet. They didn't have sonogram yet. And Mary just closes the gates behind her when they leave. So when the show returns this fall, it's definitely gonna be good. We're gonna have season 2. Francis is gonna be king. Mary's gonna be queen of France and Scotland. What? Hopefully in season 2 they'll eventually go back to Scotland so we can see Scotland, and hopefully we'll see more of the English, England, and Elizabeth, the queen of England currently. Hopefully we'll see more of those 2 countries and that queen. That'll be very good. That'll be very good to see. Now Reign overall as a show, it started off slow. Because I remember when I first came on, I was like, Reign? I'm like, what? CW doing a historic piece? What? What? Doing a period drama for teens? What? When I first saw it, I was like, okay, it's getting pretty good. I mean, you gotta watch it, you know. It really did start off slow in the beginning, you know. But halfway throughout the middle of it, it started picking up the pace because it's like the first half was sort of more like, it wasn't that much drama, you know. You sort of getting to know the character, you get to know Catherine, you get to know Mary and her ladies in waiting. You sort of the first couple of episodes, you're sort of just getting to know everybody and their personalities. And then within the course of the middle thing, that's when you could get more into that drama, you know, dealing with how royals have to deal with everything. They got to deal with assassination. They got to deal with, for Catherine, she has to deal with being queen and keeping her head high, knowing your husband is constantly sleeping with various, you know, sleeping around, just, you know, sowing his royal oats. I guess that's the term. And you see the relationship between Francis and Bash being close, and when Mary coming into the scene, it becomes strained because they both have fallen in love with the same girl, and not only that, it puts more tension on their relationship when Mary goes and changes the line of succession to not only save Francis, because Catherine was told by Nostradamus that if Mary marries Francis, he will die. I think they said within a year. I think that's what it was, within a year, and save Bash from being beheaded. So by her changing the line of succession, that put more tension between Francis and Bash, who we saw early in the season were very close as brothers, even though one was considered a bastard and the other one is the Dauphin of France. And you also see with the ladies, Mary and her ladies waiting, how they have this innocence, but through certain decisions and certain events that happen, they sort of no longer these, you know, innocent young women. They have to grow up, and this idea that they have of love and you know, the perfect husband, and this pretty much this medieval idea of romance stuff is sort of broken by reality. Your women, this is a certain time, this is a time period where women, you know, your whole future depend on you being a virgin and marrying the right guy who had money. It really didn't matter. It really didn't matter if you loved this man or not. You married for the future, for your You married him for your financial future and for the future of your any offspring you may have. There was no such thing as love. So you see that with with Kenna and her becoming the mistress of King Henry, and how that and where that has led her down. She's married Bash, which you know, at the time frame you couldn't just be talking about divorce, unlike Henry VIII, who decided to break away from the Catholic Church to be divorced because they're Catholics. And you see her and Bash have to learn how to pretty much try to make this marriage work, because this is who she is now. She had became the mistress of Henry, hoping that she would be his main mistress, but he would not leave her behind. So now only that, everybody's pretty much has this idea in her head that she's pretty much, oh well, the king had her, so pretty much she is officially, you know, a whore, you know, a royal whore. So she now has that stigma on her. Lola, you know, is a sweet young girl. She got into when Francis was no longer the rightful heir to France. She slept with him, and now she is pregnant with a child. She just had sex with the dude one time. Bam, she's pregnant. And for some people, that's all it takes is one time. So now she's afraid of being his official mistress because she has his first child. So that indirectly affects Mary, who is now married to Francis, and everybody's expecting her already to be with child, and so she has this pressure of, okay, I'm now his wife, but I can't seem to get pregnant, and it's like this pressure on her, which is like unnecessary. Not only that, it's like she, as a queen, she has to secure her throne, her place to the French throne, and not only that, they want her to also claim the throne to England so she could be like a powerhouse, because she's already the queen of Scotland. And not only that, she is married to Francis, which makes her the queen of France, and then by bloodline, because her she is related to Elizabeth, cousin wives by Margaret Tudor, who is the sister of Henry VIII. So that's how she is related to Elizabeth, the Queen of England, by Margaret Tudor. So she has this pressure of, she's feeling more and more pressure of not only being a woman, but being but being the queen of literally 2 countries now. So she's feeling the pressure. Francis, in his situation, he is the prince. So he, as a male, he has this responsibility of having to try to follow in his father's footsteps, but not necessarily being like his dad. Like he wants to be different. And with him, with his daddy, and with I'm so sorry. To step into this madness, you see him have to step up to the plate. Can you rule France? And not only that, can he still be a good husband to his wife, Mary? Because he wants to be he doesn't want because you gotta think about it. Francis, I'm pretty sure since he was a boy, has seen the dynamics of the marriage between his father and his mother. Your parents, yes, they're married, but obviously, probably in their younger years, they did love each other. But over time, their love has faded, and they're pretty much, it's not like she could divorce him, And you see your father constantly sleeping with various other women, and producing children. All these bastard children, probably boys and girls, and you only live with one because his mother is the official mistress, Diane. So as Francis is seeing you gotta think about it. Francis is seeing this relationship dynamic between his parents and the mistress. So that is sort of shaping his view on how marriage is supposed to work, and he wants it to be different with Mary. He doesn't want, we see him not wanting a mistress, but then there's the situation with Olivia that they had, and then now we have Lola, who's having his only child so far. And Mary can't get pregnant yet, and that's been pressure on her. And now he has to become king because his father died because, he killed him. You know what I'm saying? So he has to deal with those pressures. Then there's, of course, his brother, Bash, half-brother, who, was loving the life of being, the bastard child. I didn't have to deal with pressure. There was so much pressure. And then Mary came along, switched the line of succession. I fell in love with her. I can't get out of love with her, but I have to, out of respect, because my brother is in love with her, and technically he is her rightful husband because they were betrothed since small, and now I'm married to Kenna. And with their relationship, he's showing Kenna how to actually be, I guess you say, a woman. Not, how to actually be, be pleased a woman that in this marriage, your purpose is not to just, make sure my sexual needs are satisfied. They're trying to make it work. When they first had sex, he showed her, when we're going to sleep, we're going to sleep together, but I'm not going to just have you, pleasure me and, do all the things so I can get off. I'm going to show you how it feels to be loved as a woman. I'm like, get it, Bash, get it. Yeah, but so we see them making the relationship, and it's Bash being the bastard child, and with Mary having, as I said, she was trying to change the line of succession. He was now put in that position of, oh my God, what it's like to be, the next in the throne. It was pressure that he didn't have before because he was a bastard child. Nobody was really worried about that Bash. Nobody was worried about Bash becoming king because he was the bastard child. Bastard children are not allowed to the heir to the throne. And then he found out with Mary. He's making it work with Kenna, but he can't get over his feelings for Mary. So obviously, with Francis now literally becoming king of France, that tension between his brother, the tension between Bash and Francis is probably going to even be more. And I think I covered everybody. And for Catherine, I'm not sure what's going to happen to her since her son is now king. Obviously, she's no longer be queen, so that means she's going to be pretty much having to obey her son and his wife Mary, even though we know she really don't like Mary like that. And also, will Francis die because the vision came back of him dying before Mary and him could have any children, because Catherine's illegitimate daughter is still alive. So most likely she probably will appear somewhat in season 2. So all we can do is just hope to wait. So that is all for Reign. I really like the show, even though they changed a lot of things to make it appear to a more modern audience because they're targeting teenagers. So they had to change the outfits, which are still cute. And the music is not even music from that time frame. It's like freaking Lord Day Royals, like, you know, like radioactive and stuff. So it's cute. So anyway, comment, rate, subscribe, and I'll see you guys for Reign Season 2 in the fall.